All right, Jesse on fire. Let's do this because guess what, man? We're going to talk about UFC 288 real quick. I don't have a long time to do this, but there's some things to talk about. I want to talk about the main event, co-main event, put a prediction in for both, talk about why I like them, the winners, that is. And then talk about the drama at Fighter Hotel because there apparently has been some harassment of fighters during their weight cut. What's up, guys? You see that piece? You see that piece in the thumbnail? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this piece. Thank you, Serpent. Thank you, Serpent Forge. They made this for me, and I love it. It is heavy as hell, though. But yeah, dude, Aljo calling out Henry's team. I mean, listen, dude. In my opinion, messing with a guy during a weight cut is bad form. In my opinion, you know. If that's really what they were, I mean, you know, the other thing too, you got to consider. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me actually rewind for anybody who doesn't know what was going on. Aljamain got on Instagram or Twitter, and they it's so hard to take them seriously when watching them just a year ago, buddy. But oh yeah, the two of them, yeah. But I mean, look. So apparently Aljamain, during his weight cut, Cejudo's coaches were like following him around the hotel and dicking around with him. And Aljo like snapped and he put it up on Twitter. You know, he said he was going to sue them or something. I don't really know what his case would be. Let me actually pull this up really quick and we will talk about that. And I'll show you guys exactly what he said. There we go. All right, here we go. All right. So Aljo said, this. So these guys, coach is stalking a fighter while he's killing himself to make weight is disgusting. It's not cringe. It's massively disrespectful and not okay. I hope Aljo dominates tomorrow night. And then here you go. This is the
What we do, you guys want to press fucking charges, fucking bitch ass motherfuckers.
I'm a lawyer, Aljo. I got you.
What we do, you guys want to press fucking charges, fucking bitch ass motherfuckers.
I'm a lawyer, Aljo. I got you.
What we do, you guys want.
I'm a lawyer, bro. I got you. Okay. And then and Aljo said the disrespect was so unprofessional. I wanted to slap the shit out of all of them, but I know I can't do that stuff. So yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing about that. Here's the only so if they really were messing around with him while he was trying to make weight, that is pretty messed up, because that's one of those things that, like, all the fighters know that the battle to make weight is very challenging. And it's one of those kind of unwritten rules where it's like, let the guy cut weight. Don't break his balls during a weight cut. So there's that. Here's the other thing, though, on the flip side of that, right, is when a guy is cutting weight, they're insanely irritable, right? And so it's totally plausible that they weren't even really being super disrespectful. And Aljo is just in the middle of a weight cut and he's like a hair trigger, super mad. And I'll give you the perfect example. So you guys remember the video that I just did recently, or also the video that went viral on Instagram where Kevin Holland said that the guy oil checked him. You guys remember that? I'm trying to pull it up just in case you guys haven't seen it. Because Kevin Holland oil check. Okay, apparently you can't find it. Anyway, but like, so this kid came up to him and he put his hand on his back, and the caption was that like the guy oil checked Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland immediately was like, "What's wrong with you, dude?" And he got super pissed, told the kid to beat it, and then he just ended the entire thing that he was doing. And I spoke to the kid's buddy, who said the kid definitely 100% did not oil check him. If you guys don't know what an oil check means, he stuck a thumb up his ass. So, and then one of my buddies talked to Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland said that he grabbed, like, put his hand on the end of his, like, or near his, like lower back ass, and then said oil check. And then he was like, honestly, I was in the middle of a weight cut. I was super fucking irritable, but like the kid definitely said oil check. So, you know, could go either way. Anyway, so let's talk about the fights. All right. So the two that I want to talk about are the main and the co-main, right? Because I feel pretty confident picking these two. So for the main event, I'm picking Henry Cejudo, and I'm picking him because his striking is excellent. I think that his wrestling, I mean, man, if you want to like really have your mind blown, go look up a video of like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like, I think it was called like Henry Cejudo's Wrestling is Next Level. I can't remember what platform it was on, but it was just showing his wrestling, you know, just his wrestling and like his scrambles, and like, dude, he is exceptional on the ground. I mean, obviously he won a gold medal. And so you're talking about absolute world-class gold medal wrestler. And so that obviously makes a huge difference when you're fighting Aljamain Sterling, who is exceptional on the ground also. And he is a back hunter, right? Aljamain is going to take you down. He's going to literally, you know, envelop you and then move to your back, and you're not going to be able to get him off, right? If I just have an incredibly hard time believing that Aljamain is going to be able to take Henry Cejudo's back. I just do. An incredibly, incredibly hard time believing that. Because that is, I mean, you know, taking the back or being in full mount are the two most dominant positions that a person can get in grappling. And it honestly is basically, you know, it's a matter of preference, you know, which you would prefer to be in as the offensive person. Now, me personally on defense, I'll take a person on my back over someone mounting me 100 out of 100 times. I'm good at back escapes. I don't, you know, like we've been training mount escapes a lot, but it's just, I hate being mounted, man. Anyway, but so I can't see Aljamain advancing to Henry's back. And honestly, even if he does, Henry is a tank, dude. He is a tiny little tank. And in a 5-round fight, even if Aljamain gets on his back, you know, puts a body triangle on him to where he's on there for the whole round, he's not going to be able to choke Henry Cejudo, man. Henry Cejudo has the same thing. Like he's built, you know, I mean, he's even more so than me. Like guys like us just go boom. You know, like how are you going to choke me? Okay. I have no neck. And Henry Cejudo is even more so built like that. Like he's not going to choke him. So what's he going to, like, what's he going to do? Right? You think he's going to ground and pound Henry Cejudo? You know, I don't see that. And LNA AutoWorks time off, and he's out of shape. So listen, if Triple C's out of shape, then of course, I mean, like that's a totally different deal, right? That's a totally different. Whoa, sorry about that, dude. I don't know what just happened. Yeah, I mean, so of course, if he's out of shape, then that changes things. But everybody's saying that he's in tremendous shape, and I don't think that he would go into a title fight out of shape. He's never showed any indications that he's unprofessional throughout his entire career. Beefy Bitcoin, thank you for the $20, good sir. You are a gentleman. You seem like a guy who would give a speech to their daughter's date before they leave. Have you practiced that speech in your head like I have? My includes the possibility of violence. So, yeah, actually, I mean, there's just going to be an overarching conversation that I'm going to have with any dudes that are ever taking my kids out. And it's like, it's pretty simple, dude. You know, like I like to basically if there's something really important that I want to drill into someone's head, like the way that I approach that is I'll establish trust by what's the right way to say this? Like, as an example, I'm driving down to the UFC with Giselle in the car, right? I have 2 hours with her alone in the car. She's going to middle school next year. Fentanyl is all over the place, all that stuff. And so one of the things I wanted to talk to her about when we were by ourselves is like that she can absolutely never, ever try an opioid. That like for her, it's different. It's not like other kids. She's genetically predisposed to getting addicted, that she will get addicted. She can never, right? So like, that's a conversation I want to have. So the way that I make sure that that is going to land heavy for her is the conversation I have right before that is I teach her how to use Chat GPT to cheat on school papers and not get caught, you know? And I do that strategically. So it's like, she's like, oh, we're having like a real conversation here. Like daddy just told me how to cheat in school and not get caught. Cause I don't give a fuck if she uses Chat GPT. Like, you know what I mean? Like obviously she gets caught. It's a big deal, but like, that's not life or death big deal. The next thing I'm going to talk about is her entire life, her fucking entire life could go down one decision. So I need that one to land. So I established trust talking about, you know, teaching her that. So the conversation I'm going to have with the boy, or all of them, given that context, is if they're dating my daughter, I'm going to pull them aside. I'm going to go, look, man, you're what, 15 years old? Like, I know what it's like to be a teenager. You and me are fine. Whatever happens between you and my daughter is your business. You cheat on her, I don't care. I'm not knocking on your door if you cheat on her. You'll just, I mean, if she breaks up with you, it's your loss. You and me will not have any dealings about you cheating on her or any dumb stuff like that. But if you ever give her drugs, drive her around drunk, or put a hand on her, I will fucking kill you. Just so we're clear. Avoid those three things, you and I will be best friends. So as long as you don't intend to hit my daughter, put her in a car with you drunk or anyone else drunk and you're there, I'll hold you responsible, or ever give her a fucking single drug. Stay out of those three categories. We'll be best friends. We'll go golfing. We'll have drinks together. I'll be the coolest fucking dad you've ever wished that you had. Put her in a car drunk with someone drunk driving, and your body will be totaled. So yeah, that. Obeid Salim, thank you very much, sir. And the other thing too is if that kid goes and tells someone that I had that conversation with, you know, like goes tells his parents or something, then he's too big of a fucking pussy to date my daughters anyway. If he can't handle a man-to-man like that, he's not good enough for my kid. Anyway, Obeid Salim, thank you very much, dude. Hey, Jesse, are you friends with DraftKings now? They sponsored your video. Congrats. Simple. I am a person who practices what I preach. Remember, how many times I said on the videos, don't ever let emotions get in the middle of business. Simple as that. Simple as that. Thank you for the super chat. Chris Brinson, thank you very much. Aljo is a Sherlock. No, he's not. Thank you for the super chat. Teach us your wisdom on girls and women, Mr. Jesse. All right. You want it? I don't even know where to start on this, but I'll give you, in all honesty, if you're serious, write this shit down. because these are very simple rules that will be very easy to apply. Okay. If you're talking about getting a girl to be interested in you on the front side, ask them questions about themselves, make them feel like you're listening to them. Don't look too interested like you're desperate. You listen confident, and you do not talk about yourself. Don't tell them stories about you. You be vague. Like vague, not like you're being evasive, but you're being vague because you're like, I'd rather talk about you. It's a smooth confidence thing as opposed to whatever. It's super easy to accidentally start talking about yourself with girls, and only sorry ass girls will want to fuck you from that. Good girls want to chase a confident, mysterious guy. Ask questions, listen to their answers. Don't talk about yourself very much. And validate the things that they say about themselves. Compliment them as they're listening. Compliment them on their answers. Tell every girl that you want to fuck that they're smart. Start with smart, then tell them that they're pretty. Anyway, and then with a girl that you're together with or married to, like I hear all the time, like when people talk about getting married, they're oh man, I got married, I never got another blowjob, or dude, we barely ever have sex. Pfft. That's an easy problem to solve. The easiest thing in the world. Okay. Figure out a way to make your wife come that she can't do to herself. Simple as that. She'll fuck you 4 times a week. Okay. That's simple. Figure out a way to get her off that she literally is incapable of doing on her own. That's the secret to a highly sexualized marriage. And also, if you really want to do research, girls can come 3 different ways. Anyway, all right. So hopefully that's enough wisdom for today. Can't get into the details of those 3 ways without getting this demonetized 1,000%. Team, what's up, Chad? How are you, sir? Chad is my boy in real life. Okay. Does this end up a stand-up fight? Yes. 100%. Well, not 100%, but yes, I do. That's why I'm picking Cejudo, because I think it's going to be on the feet. I don't think that it's going to end up going to the ground at all. And, or certainly not for, a large percentage of the fight. And I definitely like Cejudo in the striking. 100%, dude. 100%. I like Cejudo in the striking and also in the conditioning. I know people are saying like Cejudo's out of shape, but like he's never come in out of shape. Just because he's been off for a long time, that doesn't mean that he's out of shape at all, So that is exactly how I think this is going to go out. I drive a 2022 Ford Explorer that is like dark silver, black rims, all tinted out, all that. So I'm into, neither muscle cars or trucks. Okay. So then on the co-main, Belal versus Muhammad. I want to look at the odds really quick. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure that I'm picking the underdog. That's why I want to just double check what the odds are, because I'm curious. So they've got, okay. So Belal is only plus 110. So I'm going to pick Belal. Now, first of all, I just had both of these guys on the channel. I'm a fan of both guys for sure. And I mean, I've been calling Gilbert Burns, the dark horse in the division forever. But I think Belal is going to win this fight, and I'll tell you exactly why. So Belal has excellent, underrated wrestling. Okay. His jiu-jitsu, I mean, like if it goes to the ground, the jiu-jitsu obviously will always, Gilbert will always have the edge. But even on the ground, Gilbert couldn't submit Jorge. So I don't think there's any reason to think that that Belal does not have, better grappling and better defense than Jorge. But I actually don't think that's going to matter very much, because I don't think it's going to be able to, I don't think that Gilbert's going to have an easy time taking it to the ground. And on the feet, Belal has the most underrated striking like that I've seen in a long time. And where Belal is most strong fits very well from a matchup perspective with Gilbert. So the two biggest strengths that Belal has, well, he has three, but the two biggest ones are his accuracy with his hands. He's ridiculously accurate with his hands. Ridiculous. Excellent accuracy with his hands. And the other thing that is that's this sleeper factor that is kind of hard to see if you don't have a really trained eye for this kind of thing, is Belal better than anyone else in the UFC? I will stand by this. Better than anyone else in the UFC. He's the best at figuring out the other guy's tell for when they're about to throw a strike. Just like you're talking milliseconds as they are about to pull the trigger, Belal knows. And if you really want to see an exceptional example of that, watch the Luque fight. Like in the Luque fight, Belal, like Luque's so dangerous, dude. He's so dangerous. And if you watch that fight and you see how Belal was able to beat him on the feet, it's because Belal, every time that Luque got set up to throw, which had been successful against every other guy, Belal saw he was about to throw and he beat him to it. So like he wasn't even countering necessarily. Like the way that he was beating him was not countering his strikes. It was he figured out his tell and he was attacking right as Luque was getting set to throw a punch, and it just completely tossed Luque's timing, his rhythm, and all of that. And he just beat him down. Now, Brady, dude, obviously Belal beat the brakes off of Brady. Beat the brakes off him. And he looked better even than he did in the Luque fight. But, Gilbert is extremely explosive. He's really fast, really explosive, has a lot of power, but he's not as crisp as Belal, and being a guy who's really explosive, I haven't like video studied Belal or Gilbert to see if he has some kind of tell, but honestly, it's not like I could identify what Luque's tell was either. It's not like I'm like, oh, he was moving his knee when blah, blah, blah. I don't know how Belal was doing it, but he was doing it every time. And so my guess is that he's going to be able to do the same thing with Gilbert, right? Because yeah, and I think he's going to figure out when Gilbert's going to move. I think he's going to mess up Gilbert's timing. I think he's going to be ridiculously accurate, and he's going to tee off on his face, But obviously, Gilbert is nasty, dude. Gilbert's super nasty. Of course he could win. Like Belal, of course Gilbert could win. But having to pick, I'm picking Belal for that reason. A biased take with Belal, dude. What are you talking about? Look at this, dude. Hold up. Hold the phone, guy. Hold the phone. Here.
Shorter. We exchanged the contact. I texted him and said, you got to come to the fight. And then eventually he made it. That's cool.
Yeah, because Mike McDaniel, the coach. Come on, dude. Bias. Gilbert's my dude. Oh, man. This is okay. This is an excellent question. So I have a chronic frozen muscle underneath my scapula that literally I can't like make my shoulders go down. It's awful, dude. And it ends up, if I don't get it like worked on, it turns into a paralyzing headache in the base of my skull. But oh yeah, I'm all up in Belal's DMs. Belal is way less likely to watch this than Gilbert. But I like both these guys a lot. I'm not sleeping on Gilbert at all. Dude, Gilbert's nasty. I'm just talking about this specific matchup. You know, like it's just I think there are guys. Like, let me think about this. There are definitely guys that I think Belal has a better, or I'm sorry, Gilbert has a better chance of beating than Belal. I just think in this particular matchup, I think Belal is going to really figure out Gilbert's timing and tee off. Now, if Gilbert's able to get the fight to the ground, then that changes everything, of course. But Brady had no success trying to get it to the ground. None. What? Jesse's going to be Masvidal's dad's attorney. No. Okay. So yeah, on this thing where Masvidal's dad's a felon, mandatory 3 years in prison for that charge alone. See, this, what I'm saying is, you have to, he's going to have to say the gun's not his, you know, like he's going to have to say that the gun is George's, like cause he's at George's house. And honestly, the gun is probably registered in George's name because he couldn't buy it himself. You know, because if you do the stand your ground thing or self-defense, like you have the ability to use any means necessary in order to defend yourself. That's the whole point. And so if you're at someone's house and they have a firearm there and you grab it and, use it, then you shouldn't take a gun charge on that. Felons, that's not true. Felon not allowed to be around guns. That's not true. You're not allowed to buy one or own one. So yeah, I mean, like the whole reason, like, don't get me wrong. The whole reason I'm saying the stand your ground thing is because it happened at George's house. I'm assuming that there is a relationship with, if there was no relationship with the victim, that's incredibly unlikely to work. Right? Incredibly unlikely. You know what I just realized, actually? You know what I just realized? Okay, so hang on. So the reason why I think it could work is because assuming that there's a relationship there, because why would that guy be in George's house if they're not like friends or whatever, is if you get them aligned on a story together, then you can paint this in a way where a stand your ground will be legit. He's going to have to say that he was, physically assaulting George's dad or was aggressing towards him or whatever. You have to get them on the same page. But what I just realized as I was saying that is it happened in his house. I have ring videos everywhere. There's not an inch of my house except for my bedroom and one, and then two. So there are 3 bedrooms in our house that don't have video on them. Anywhere else in our house, it's on video and it's in the cloud immediately. So like if I have it, like I'm not balling like George. He has video everywhere. So this event will be on video. So if the video doesn't match the story, they need to go delete that shit and then hope that the police don't go to Google and subpoena deleted footage, which they can do. That's because that's one of the things that there was a story about that Amazon gave ring footage from a house to the police without telling the people. It was like there was like some case where like a criminal had driven or something like that, and like they used this person's ring footage of the front door and they just gave it to the authorities and never even told the guy. So KCM, thank you very much. How would you start a YouTube channel from zero? That is a much longer answer than I can give on here. Shoot me an email. I'm actually going to start doing a service where I'll like work with you and help you build it. And I have a whole system for doing that. Email me, realjesseonfire@gmail.com. Okay. So have you seen the fight video from that golf course brawl between some MMA guys and some asshole dads? No, but I would love to watch that. And given that I talked about, figure out ways to make girls come on here. It's probably demonetized already anyway, so I may as well just show it. All right, so MMA guys versus golfers. Oh, wow, this just happened, huh? Okay, let's see it.
Former
Oh, God.
M-
I can't watch the Young Turks.
Like and subscribe to my channel and
Fighters brawl with dads on golf course in viral battle. Cejudo, a group of former MMA fighters, got into a heated brawl after against the dads after kick to avoiders, claiming that the
all right.
stream, who are still
Who is this trash bag? Am I gonna have to watch
former
TYT?
MMA fighters brawl with dads on a golf course. Here it is.
Oh yeah, that guy knows what he's doing.
Let's put the pictures up. Full mask. Thugs. In a viral clip shared by sports
Hold
anchor.
on. Let me see this again. Hang on. So by the way, feel free to super chat now because this video is 1000% demonetized now. Dude, I don't know how YouTube does it, but they like their algorithm is bulletproof at catching street fights. Like it's crazy. Like you would think that whatever kind of algorithmic thing that catches street fights would also catch like pro fights, but it's like it is perfect. It never catches pro fights like as bad, and it always catches street fights 100% of the time. Stay down.
Let's put the pictures up. Full mask. Thugs. In a viral clip shared by.
Dude, I'm just trying to see like the guy that got punched first. Was he like, what was he doing? Was he advancing? Oh yeah, he was, dude. Oh yeah, he swung at him. Okay, yeah, he swung at him, dude. The guy that got punched first, that was on the left side, like the guy that was on the side that was easiest to see, he for sure threw the first punch. He for sure threw the first punch. And, I mean, like, if you throw a punch and then you lose a fight, tough shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're the one who took it from there to there. You swung at a guy. If you swung on a guy who actually knows how to fight and you got punched and hurt, like that's your fault is it fault, whatever. It's just like, you don't get to complain about it afterwards. And yeah, we don't have any idea what happened before that, obviously. Thoughts on the subway strangling? Guess my thoughts. Thank you for the super chat. My thoughts are the guy had been arrested 40 times. 40 times. That guy had been arrested 40 times. Okay. And he's going around, like I used to ride the BART in the Bay Area. I rode BART to and from work every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, leaving my house, like waking up at 4:30 in the morning, going every single day. And the people on that train sometimes are the absolute like scourge of society because they can get on the train and they can ride it around all day. They sneak on, or maybe even like they beg for a ticket and they buy a $1 ticket so they get through the gate, and then they just ride it all day long. That's all they do. I saw these two guys shooting heroin on a train one time. These two guys were just openly in the back of this train, and everyone's pretending like they couldn't see him. And they're they're shooting heroin. You know, they're like breaking it. I'd never seen a person do heroin before. And the guy pulls out this huge knife, dude. Like the guy had like this, like, I mean, it was a big knife. These two guys were grimy. He's got this huge knife. They're shooting heroin in front of everybody. They look super dangerous. And all I was thinking in my head, because I had lived in Utah for a year where I had a concealed carry permit, and we're in California now. And all I was thinking is, I'm like, it is absurd that it's illegal for me to carry here. Why should I be vulnerable to these two crackhead drug addicts stabbing me or, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm a tough guy, but I'm not like, you think I want to, even an untrained heroin addict, if they have a huge knife and they attack you, like, why should I be subject to that risk? You know what I mean? Like, why should I be subject to that? I'm on the train going to and from work. I have to be in this environment. And if the police or like whatever system that we have that's responsible for keeping dangerous people like that away from you can't do a good enough job, that they're sitting there shooting heroin on the train, then why should I not be able to take the proper measures to make sure that in the event that they decide they want to stab someone, I can't put them down? It's ridiculous, dude. And so like this guy, and I saw a guy one time, oh my God. So this guy was going around screaming in people's faces, I don't care, I'll go back to jail. I'll go back to jail. I don't give a fuck. Screaming in everyone's faces, you know, going all crazy. And then so they restrain him, and the Marine puts a choke on him, you know, puts a rear naked on him and is holding him there while the other two guys hold his arms. That's how you know the guy was completely wild, is because 3 people are not going to gang up on a guy just to hold him there if he wasn't doing exactly what they said. And he's got 40 arrests. 40. Think about how many times that is to get arrested. The guy's a scourge of society. Like, bottom line, he's obviously a mentally ill person who doesn't have, like, do you think that, okay, so he's dead now, right? He's dead. How many people do you think are going to acknowledge his death, like from his friends and family? Zero. There's no, like, that's the kind of person that has no one. He's alive. His parents probably died when he was a kid. It's sad. But bottom line, he's an adult now. There's not one person on earth that is friends with him, family, whatever. He is solely a nuisance or a danger. And so they restrained him. I don't know what the hell this Marine was thinking, in fairness, that like he kept a choke on him tight enough that it was actually choking him for 15 minutes. I mean, like, do I care that this guy's dead? Zero. Do I think this guy should be charged? Absolutely not. Not even, like, no. Do I find it infuriating that there are people out there pretending like this is some kind of like racially driven, you know, white supremacy, like, oh, it's because he's black. Yeah, it's infuriating because it's stupid and it's not true. It's not true. That is absolutely not true. I saw a person comment on one of those videos and they were like, you know what? You know that if it was a black guy choking a white guy, you would be super pissed. And I'm like, bullshit. Like, he was talking to someone else, but I was like, you know, I normally don't try. I try not to get into it in the comments with people like that, but that one I just couldn't swallow. I was like, that's absurd. It's absurd and not true. Do you have any evidence of a thing like you have a single shred of evidence for the thing that you just said? You're telling me that you think that people who are defending the guy, if it was a black former Marine who is on the train going to work, he chokes a white homeless crackhead who's been arrested 40 times. You think that we'd be like, throw the black guy in jail? It's the dumbest, it's nonsense. It's just nonsense. They just say this stuff and they get away with it all the time because no one pushes back. It's like, dude, that's not true. It's not racist for me to point out that that's bullshit, because it is that. It's bullshit. It's fucking nonsense, dude. So, yeah, I will be critical of the guy holding the choke for that long, because everyone knows, everyone knows if you apply a blood choke for that long, of course they're going to die. You know, like, of course they're going to die. So maybe he didn't think he had it on as tight as he did. I mean, who knows, dude? Who knows? I have 0 arrests. None. But yeah, like exactly my point. How many times have I been arrested? 0. 0 times. So, yeah. Luke Thomas said this was based on America's growing fear and isolation. Subway. What? I don't even understand what that means. Luke Thomas said this was based on America's growing fear and isolation. What? It's absurd. It's based on a crackhead accosting people on the subway. That's what it's based on. Beefy Bitcoin, thank you for the super chat. I was watching Bellator live on YouTube to like 40 people. They turned my fight off from their end at Bellator. They are getting better. Oh, better at like at catching streamers, you mean? Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for the super chat, good sir. Scooby-Doo, thank you very much. Or Scuba-Doo. My bad, dude. Thank you very much. Super chat to offset demonetization. The price is wrong, Beach. Thank you, dude. Much appreciated. Oh, shit. I'm supposed to be on with the Osen Dairos right now. I was waiting for them to text me. Oh shit. Okay, I gotta jump. Thank you guys for the super chats. I love you guys very much. How come no one calls out black racists? Because it's I mean, honestly, because if they're just like whatever people, you know, like they're just like rando weirdos, then it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're black and they're racist. Like, I'm just like, who cares? Now, if they're in a position of influence, you know, of heavy influence, and they start talking that nonsense, that's when it's important for people to push back on it, just like any other kind, you know? Anyway, thank you guys. Chat soon. I'm going to go hang out with the Osen Dairos. Peace.